Okay, there it is. Yeah.
Welcome back.
La-di-da. Anyway.
Welcome to another episode of the publishing Persuasion. I'm just going to jump right in and steal our intro away from our reigning queen. She is shooketh. I wish you could see her face. She did not expect it, neither did I. But here we are. Welcome to another episode. You're not even ready for the guest we have today. You're not even ready for us.
Oh,
And
no. No one's ready.
this amazing, glorious, magical pirate queen, the one, the only, debut author of Sinner's Isle, coming October 31st.
Pardon me? You paused?
I'm like, it's on Halloween. And then I was like, when's Halloween? Shit. When's your birthday? Shit. 31st. The 31st of October. I'm going to stop yelling into the mic now. That's probably going to be really loud. Anyway, hi.
Hi, thank you for that wonderful, beautiful, phantasmic, orgasmic introduction. You just hopped right in, and I really enjoy that about you. I like that you just jump in. You just steal people's thunder and you just jump right in.
Oh, you feel like lost now because you don't know where to go.
No, I feel great, Melanie. Look at me. I am fully prepared for this. I thank you very much.
Well, why don't you start with how you're doing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll start there. I feel good. I feel very light after just talking to our guest, Hannah V. Sawyer. Um, Before that, maybe a little tired. I was feeling a little tired today, but like I feel good. Feel life is good. Life is busy. I feel like I am regretting all of my choices. I feel like okay, so I am doing these book signings. Maybe I shouldn't have. I'm feeling like so, okay, no, it's gonna be great, but I'm feeling like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot. But I feel fine. I'll be fine.
Look, it is going to be a lot, but you also will be fine. And I think number one, don't pressure yourself to stay longer than you feel comfortable with. You know,
Mm.
just like as long as you feel comfortable to vocalize your needs, I don't think it will be too bad. But if you start being like, oh, but they would expect me to go out for drinks after, oh, but should I? Oh, I should probably go to that as well. They invited me to that. Just do what you can because it is going to be a hectic time.
Yes. No, that's very good advice. I'll go.
I
I'll do, like I don't know, do you guys call it the Irish exit or the Irish goodbye? Do
don't
you
know
guys
what that I don't know what
So
that is.
I don't know why it's called this, but it's like you're at a party and you don't want to say goodbye to anybody, so you just disappear. You just,
I do that all the time.
I don't know why. I'll have to look into why we call it that here, but we
Yeah.
just call it an Irish goodbye, where it's just like you're all chatting, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, where did Melanie go? Oh,
Yeah.
she, I guess. I love doing that. It's my favorite thing to do at a party is just leave. Just
Same. I'm thinking about it the moment I get there.
yeah,
When I
yeah, it's true. It's like when is the best time to leave? How,
so accurate though. I love that Irish exit. Maybe they call it that because it's like, I don't know.
me
Usually
neither.
when they say something's Irish, it's because it's opposite, right?
Oh, I don't know.
So I would have
Is there?
thought an Irish exit was like just you arriving, but that could be wrong too. But I love that. Yeah, I make a lot of Irish exits, especially like if something's like if the main event is over and then it's like something else is happening. I'm like, well, they're occupied with that, so they
Oh,
won't notice me.
that's perfect time to get away. Yes.
But no, I can understand that like also like we spend a lot of time in front of screens and like alone, and both you and I crave that and we need that to recharge. So like it takes a lot to go to these social events and do the thing. But I also think the genre you're going, like not the genre, the way, like being the author, going into it that way, I think you'll find that like the people around you will carry some of the energy as well, hopefully. You know what I mean? It's not going to all hinge on you having to like do everything.
The show. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be fun. I mean, it will be fun. I mean, I really thought this was gonna be fun when I set these things.
Yes. And it will be fun. It's just, you know, like anxiety is a bitch like that. Some like you tend to feel super anxious before stuff,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
know, and
Everything.
overthink it after. But once you're there, it's generally fine, great, manageable, whatever. It's you get through it somehow, you know. But Hannah was spot on with her advice of just like getting sleep. Do not sacrifice your sleep right now. Store up on your sleep because there'll probably be nights where you're like over. I don't know what kind of sleeper you are.
I'm
Now,
not a good sleeper. I don't
nah.
sleep good. I do not. Like I'll stay up till like I don't know 11, and then I just like fitfully sleep throughout the night. Like I'm always like my sleeps are like I just get through it so I can
Mm.
wake. So I need to maybe work on my sleep.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe try take your CBD gummies before bed because it
yeah,
might keep you in a deep, restful sleep.
I
Sometimes
might.
I take my CBD oil before bed because I also can be quite a insomniac. And if I get into a cycle where I'm like up, like sometimes you just get into a cycle and you're up every hour for something. And but I do find sometimes just a little bit of old Mary.
Yes, a little puff here, a little
Yeah,
that
because you want to
there.
reset that now before you. Sorry, I don't know why I'm like doling out advice like I know. Well, just because I have that shit too, that
Yeah.
insomnia. This is just what
So
I do.
Melanie's advice is to get high
Hey,
and go to.
I had a question for you about that.
Uh-oh.
No, I was just wondering because now that it's legal over there, because obviously here it's still not legalized. Like I have to have special medical. I've got a little card that says I'm permitted.
That's
Um,
cute.
Yeah, that's cute. Which
That's
I think
cute.
it was like that before over there, before it became legal. So I'm thinking we're close. No, but I was wondering since they legalized it, has it been different? Like, are there just people smoking weed everywhere?
Well, so I'm from California where it's just always been
Yeah,
here. It's just never been an issue.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Even if
nothing's
it was,
changed.
no, not really. I mean, honestly, like if even when it was illegal, like it was just a thing here, especially like Northern California, where like that's where it's known to grow and like be the best.
Yeah,
It's just what we're known for.
yeah.
A little north for me, but so no, nothing's
Mm,
changed. Nothing's
yeah.
changed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but other states for sure. But every state in the United States is vastly different. They have
Mm,
different laws and rules, and even
mm,
how people structure their lives is different. Every state is so different. So California's just always been, she's just been a liberal gal her
yeah.
whole life. Yeah.
I love that about her.
Yes. Yeah.
She's a
She's not a
free
perfect girl,
spirited.
you know. She's not perfect, but she's got that going for her.
Speaking of perfect girls, I got my you
Thank
know
you.
how oh, she was ready.
That was already.
You are perfect
Thank
indeed. But speaking of other perfect girls, I got my you know how I won that editing package, copy edit from Devona?
you. Yes.
Yes, I got it back this week and I just like literally wanted to shout her out because she's so fucking pro.
Oh,
Like I shouldn't say
cool.
fuck, so she can use this if she wants. I'll say it again. So in case she wanted a snippet, she is so pro. Like her, and not just, you know what? She picked me up on something that I wouldn't have even known was there if I didn't send it to her, which has also been one of my worst nightmares. You know, as you pass your manuscript, back and forth to readers over the months and years. Like, you always wonder, like, what does the agent get on the other end? So I'm hoping that this was just a glitch that comes up in Google Docs. But
Oh.
she found that a bunch of my quotation marks were turning into hashtags in a certain version. I know. So she has mad skills that, like, nobody else, like, I'm glad that you girls never saw that. So I'm hopeful that as long as it's a PDF or a Word doc, it doesn't happen. But in Google Docs, it came up with all these hash signs. So she's gleaned them all out for me. And like, but just, yeah, like what she picks up, she is so pro. Like, I'm seriously honored to have had her eyes on my work. And she does the thing that I love my readers and editors to do the most, which is like little commentary as you go through, because it's so bolstering. And it's like, hey, I'm cackling, or like, oh, girl, I'm dying, like whatever. Like, the little commentary as you go through, it really bolsters you as you go through the edit, because edits are notoriously soul crushing, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And like, nobody means it when they critique work. Like, they just want you to get the point quickly, right? But just those little nuggets, you do that so well as well. When you give me feedback, you always put in little, like, hey, or like, I'm swooning, whatever. And yeah, so I had to just shout her out because she is amazing. And I really want to get her on the show maybe next year.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
On a map, right? Map.
Yes,
M-A-P.
thank you. Yeah, so she has her own editing service, listeners. If you're looking for a pro editor, head on over to Devona. Because she's
Yes.
a legend.
Not an editor, an editor. That's how you, sorry. That was me trying
is
to
that
sound
a thing?
No, I was trying to sound Australian.
Wait, how do you say it?
Editor.
Editor.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that pretty.
Editor. Oh, you're right.
Editor.
Oh my gosh, mine sounds like it ends in an A, doesn't it? Editor.
Yeah, editor. I like that better. I like that better. Using it. Editor. I have a shout out too, actually.
Yes.
And she's a former guest, but she has recently started a podcast, Lissamia Smith, with Anna Mercer. It's called Turning to Story. So I just started listening to it yesterday, and I'm already on like the third episode.
Yeah.
It's so good and so helpful. It's top tier, fantastic writer podcast. Like, they just go over like character development and plot structure and all this stuff that it's like, you kind of forget after sometimes you're writing, whatever. And so it's like this great reminder, and they're exploring new ideas and tips. And of course, Lissamia Smith, author of Ravel, is an absolute genius and a G. She's a top G. And so she's a G. So little shout out to Turning to Story, because it really is a great podcast, honestly. So.
Yeah, I actually listened to their first couple episodes. So like, yeah, and I am notoriously, because I spend a lot of time with ours, I notoriously don't listen to other podcasts much.
Yeah.
But I adore Lissa, and I fully second that. Like, she's a legend, and her advice is always on point. So yeah. And her book is on point. I started reading that recently, finally. And
yes.
Yeah. It's so magical.
You can tell it's written by Lissa, because she's just like, she's a shit. So, and Ravel is so good. So
it's really sexy. I was loving that kind of like sexy showgirl, not showgirl, what do you call it? Cabaret.
Oh, that's a different book we're talking about.
Circus. Sexy circus girls with magic. Like, damn, I'm ready.
Oh, yes. Yeah, like Flapper Girl, like 20s era. It's so fun. So, yeah. Well, how are you, Mel? I know you got your edits. What's going on? What's new?
I'm good. I let my YA, my I don't know, we're calling it it's not really spooky, but it's like, ooh, a loud door just slammed and I felt
Ooh.
it. The whole building shook. That's one of the things about living in an old building, like you feel everything. Yeah, so I feel like even though I regret leaving my YA, I dug up my boyfriend last night is the title. I like regret not like speed drafting it, but on the other hand, letting it sit like this and coming back to it and like, I don't know, just in my head the whole time I've been like, I really, really want to do it justice. Like I'm
Yeah.
so excited about the idea. It almost has frozen me up from how I would usually speed draft because I'm just like, oh, I want it to be so fully fleshed out. I want the characters to to do so much, to be so nuanced. Like, have you watched seems so unrelated, but have you watched Survival of the Thickest?
Not yet. It's on my list. It
It's
looks
so good.
okay.
It is so good. Like it's just everything I wanted. It's filling my soul in so many ways. But watching it just reminded me why I'm sitting with this so long. The characters are so nuanced. Like there's just all these little things. And like those are the things I love to write about, the things that make us human. You know, like just those little thoughts that you wouldn't usually share with the world, that authenticity and that just joy, even with like when negative stuff is happening, like finding the joy. So I just
Yes.
like, yeah, kind of like finally, because I had some like deconstruction themes in it and it was feeling a bit heavy and I didn't want it to feel too heavy. I wanted it to feel like teenagers ask a lot of questions. And to be fair, I would almost say this is new adult. There's a big conversation going on around that at the moment about like, is a lot of YA really new adult? And I would say that, yeah, hell yes, it is. Like, just make the damn category already, friends. Like,
Yes. Please. Jeez Louise, please.
right?
I
Like,
mean, Fourth Wing is basically new adult, and it like
yeah.
just like top tier sells everything. You know, it's like it's a really great genre or age
Mm.
category. Who do I call? Who
I
should I call?
know. I think
Call
it's
the
going to
president?
happen because new adult is generally quite like what I say this like these are huge generalizations, but there's usually a lot more sexy times,
Yeah.
basically, you know.
Yes.
And if it's too young adult, nobody really wants their, 13-year-old reading like about the
Yeah.
super sexy times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
fair. It's fair, like they're probably going to find it in a Daniel Steele novel. But like, yeah, I see the complicated part of marketing it that way. Whatever. So this is probably new adult is what I'm saying because it's a bit older. I'd love to go a bit more sexier with it, but yeah, we'll see.
Please
In
do.
but yeah, just so I've added a cult because I felt like that was
The way you just said that line. You're just like, so I've added a
because I felt like it would free me up to write about all the things that I hate about extremist ideology
mm-hmm.
without specific, because I think like religion can be so beautiful and so like enriching and spiritually enriching in the right way, right? So I didn't want to seem like hater, religious hater, but I also wanted to dissect that kind of like, I downloaded this book. Hang on. I'm so ADHD today. I'm sorry. You're such a patient friend, but I have to tell you about this book. That's the neurospicy part of me. It's like I can't breathe until I tell you about this book that I downloaded, Cultish.
Oh,
Cultish by Amanda Montell. So it's like
ooh.
picking apart the kind of ideology that exists and like why do humans gravitate to like be in a cult? Like how does it happen that so many people wind up in these like kind of brainwashed spaces where they're like, oh, like remember that cult where they all drank poison or something?
I know you are a cult lover. Like you watch a lot of cult docos
I
or
love it.
however you say it,
Yeah, yeah.
documentaries. You love a good cult. So this feels
Yeah, so I cannot like it's gonna be a lot of work. And instead of charging through like I'd love, I've come a quarter way through my edits, but I'm gonna have to go back to the start. But you know what? I was like, what the fuck is the rush, Melanie Schubert? Calm the shit down. Don't rush through. Do the justice you want to this story and see how it feels if you add a cult. Because I think it's going to feel exactly how I want. Because I want it to have that kind of ominous edge. It's going to be a lot because I'm merging like a magic world where, you know, she revives her dead boyfriend with a spell and merging it with like a cult and merging it with like contemporary. So, but if I can pull it off, it's going to be the best thing I've written.
Well, that makes me excited. And I love that. Like, take your time and add those layers in, which is like perfect. Which actually, the episode I'm just listening to now of turning to story. Is that what it was called? Yeah.
Yes.
Talking about like the plot structure and layering these different things. So that would be a good one. Let me tell you what.
Yes, send it to me because that's exactly what I want. I almost was gonna download the online course of Save the Cat again, but I was like, really, the beat sheet I have does that thing, and yeah, without doing all the modules. Like I do have it in I've done it like 4 times, the online course. I was like, at this point, I have the basic. So I'm rewriting my beat sheet once again, but it's going to be good.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's going to be really, really good. And like, have those moments of like raw, you know, emotion and that deeper layer, that darker layer, adding the nuance and the like laughter and the joy. Those are the kind of books I love. And they're freaking hard to pull off. So take your time.
Exactly. It's going to be hard to pull off. And I definitely think not just take my time. I have to like not be a perfectionist about this draft. And I didn't realize, honestly, it's kind of come as a surprise to me that I'm a perfectionist. I never would have put myself in that category. But I think I actually do hold myself to like crushing standard when I'm drafting, that it should already sound like a book first draft, you know? Which we all do, which we just, like realistically to pull off something like this, I'm going to need to do a lot of drafts to make sure it's like feels right.
Yeah. And even just doing more research on cults and which obviously that's just fun for you. That's just a Tuesday night.
It is fun. It is fun. I had such a big binge when I started writing this, which is how those themes wound up in it. But like, I don't think it occurred to me to just make it a cult. So then it just felt like, a bit in a vein that I didn't want to go. A vein that was best left for therapy. But like now it feels like it will hopefully stay in that broad spectrum fantasy space where anyone could pick it up and enjoy those themes. And that's important to me. I don't want to just be too, I mean, it is a bit niche, but you don't want to be too niche.
But you don't want to feel like you're calling out a specific whatever. And I think that's where you're trying to, stay away from. And that's why you're going with where you can pull from the things that you have experienced in your life that you need to kind of work through. And I think this is a good way to do it.
Thank you for understanding. Exactly that.
Yeah. Now, because I feel it a lot, and just in my own like day-to-day life of just like, I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. But I get scared sometimes of like my kids or family that like start going to a church and like going the extreme route, because I understand it because I was there, at one point in high school. And so I get so nervous and have my own like prejudices and things that I've worked through, but I should not, push that on other people. You know what I mean?
Dude, I 100% know what you mean. And I so appreciate you sharing that. Like, you're going to make me cry because it's really hard to deal with what you've felt inside yourself and not feel anger and not feel like you're shitting on other people's beliefs. And you and me are the same like this. That's the last thing I want. If it's bringing you joy and peace, more, more, more. But
Yes.
also, if that's not our journey, we also have a right to our journey and finding our peace and whatever. So yeah, it's really hard to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
It is.
that's why she wound up in therapy. But it's so nice to have a space where we can, because yeah, I'd like to think that we're an all-inclusive podcast and the only thing we don't welcome is trolls and haters.
Yeah. Yeah. And bigots. And, you know, there's quite a list, actually. Let me think about all.
There is quite a list, actually. And I love that journey for us. But yeah, so just gonna actually try take my time for once and not just blast through and yeah, see what happens.
Good. I love that. I honestly, and it'll just be make for a better story and book. And I feel like for me with A Cruel Thirst, like that's almost where I'm at right now. Like I know we've gone through these intense edits,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm missing those deeper layers. Like I'm scratching the surface, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. Maybe I'm missing time or whatnot, but I feel like as I'm waiting for more edits, I probably need to go back and think about the plot and all of the beats to hit, because I feel like I'm just not quite there. Yeah. Like the story is so fun. The characters are so like, I love them to pieces, but I'm missing like that last little like thread, you know, that weaves through it that really just like tugs at your heartstrings. So
maybe we need to do Story Genius together again. I feel like
Genius is great.
Yeah, it's been a while since I did it and I've only done it once. So maybe we can find, because I'd love to do like some kind of deepening, or maybe we could just, you know what you haven't done? An aesthetic. You haven't done an aesthetic for your characters. That's what's missing in your life. Have you? No, I don't think you have.
Not really. No, not since this new version of the book. I think you're right. That's always right.
It's always the answer.
Say that, I always forget, but it's always right.
Because I know you. I know how long you spend on Pinterest, and the thing is, what someone might see as time wasting for you, as you look through those images, you are like actually fleshing out the character in your head.
Yes.
That's like an important part of your process. So I'm always going to remind you. And I probably need to do the same, because I want them to feel, that thing, that what we're talking about. So
a little more depth, a little more real. And you're right. Like visualizing it, really seeing like the vibe and the tone through pictures is like a really, really powerful.
Have you watched You're So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah?
Not yet. Dang it.
Montoya, we're usually so in sync with our Netflix watches.
No, it looks adorable, and I love Adam Sandler. So
I was not loving him in recent years, but this is like a big comeback for me of his movies. Like I am so, like I was glued to the screen. Like I cannot tell you how, for me, he has pulled off that movie. And there was just so much that I didn't expect. And again, the reason I bring it up is those deep, nuanced characters that like I was there. I was experiencing everything with those characters. And I was just like, this is how I want to write. This is how I want to write characters that feel like fleshed out and real, and just like dealing with real feelings, and like just like this shit that goes on. Like I don't want to do any spoilers for you, but like just like it's so accurate to being a teenager. And I love that who they cast. I didn't realize they were his daughters that he cast.
Isn't it so sweet?
It's sweet. And I actually like that they put actual 13-year-old boys, not 20-year-old men. I don't know if you saw the boys they cast. At first, my brain was like, he looks like a baby. I'm like, well, yeah, he's 13. Yeah. That's what 13-year-old, because we haven't been seeing that on screen, right? Like we've been seeing 20-year-old men play 13-year-old boys.
When you put it that way, that's really gross. That's really wrong.
It's true. When you watch it, your brain will flag it and you'll be like, he looks like a baby. And then you're like, no, but that is how they look at that age. So I found it like such a brilliant choice. Anyway, I could rave about that, but actually it got me thinking. I was like, I wanted to do, I'll save it for another time. I want to do a segment where we do like, where we talk about embarrassing things that happened to us as teenagers. Like there's an embarrassing scene that she experiences in the thing. And it made me think, I was like, we have to tell embarrassing stories, but we'll see.
Now you have to tell. You're embarrassed. You brought it up. So now you've got to spill the beans.
Mine is bad. The one I thought of, mine is really bad.
Oh, okay.
You go first. Do you have one?
No, you go. Let's hear it. Mine, I'm sure I have many, but I have to hear yours.
Oh my God. I can't believe I'm going to say this on national TV. I was going to say, we big, we bad. Mine's really bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, Melanie is blushing. I can see it. She is verklempt. She's sweating.
She is verklempt and sweating. Mine was on a school trip.
Uh-oh. That's always a good start.
And it involved a bad egg sandwich.
Oh, no.
And let's just say that night in my sleeping bag, sandwich returned.
Oh, no.
In the middle of the night on my school trip.
Oh, no.
So I woke up to a sleeping bag of joy and surprises in like midnight, surrounded by my schoolmates.
Oh my God.
And I got up and I shuffled to the bathroom.
No.
And I just put everything into the shower.
Oh, no.
I just stayed there until it was dry enough to shuffle back and lay there in my wet sleeping bag.
Oh my God.
And never told a soul until now. Yes, I shat myself on my school field trip.
You shat yourself.
Shat myself. And do you know what's sad though? I was so violently ill. I think I had salmonella poisoning. Like I was throwing up every day after that, the rest of the trip. And I never told anyone. I was so sick. But like at that age, you feel like you can't share that stuff. Like you're going to be made fun of, or you just feel like you have to hide it. And that movie made me think of it because there's a scene in that. And I was just like, man, why is that? Like it tends to be all stuff that like you can't really control, having salmonella.
Yes.
From a bad egg sandwich that your teacher left in the sun for hours.
Oh no. No. Poor thing.
The sleeping bag was never the same.
And how many, like, was this the first night?
It was like halfway through the trip.
Oh man. Oh.
And then later we went, no, that's another part of the story. But I was so sick when we went to the snow after, they almost called in a helicopter to take me off the mountain because my fever was so high. So I was like proper unwell.
That is terrible.
Yeah. So you're going to have to think of now something that matches that. It better be something bad, like you got your period at school and it was on your dress and everyone saw it.
Why are you putting that on me? Why are you cursing me right now with a period drama? Traumatic experience?
That was like my worst nightmare when I was in high school. And they gave us these little white and blue summer dresses.
Oh.
Like if you had a period mishap, there was no hiding it in summer.
Oh no.
I still have paranoia to this day thinking about it.
As you should. That's awful. My God.
So now you know. Had to share that story on what will probably be our most watched episode because we have Hannah on. So I'll just go die in a ditch now.
Well, you can't because we need to introduce Hannah before
Damn.
you die in a ditch.
I know. That's real.
Perfect timing, really. I mean, we're going from stories about you taking a shit to someone who is the shit, which is Hannah Sawyer.
That has to be the greatest segue of all time.
I feel pretty good about that. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I feel pretty good about it. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let you read the bio. My shit has taken up enough time.
Oh, I feel so bad for like little teen Melanie. Oh, but hey, you pulled through, you know? Pulled through. Okay, let's go ahead and introduce Hannah to the show. Hannah V. Sawyer was recognized as the Youth Poet Laureate of Baltimore in 2016. Her spoken word has been featured on the BBC's World Have Your Say program, as well as the National Education Association's Do You Hear Us campaign. Melanie, turn off your camera. I can't watch you laugh while I'm doing this. Mute yourself and turn off your camera.
Okay.
Her written word has been included in Essence, gal-dem, and xoNecole. She holds a BA in English from Morgan State University and an MFA in creative writing from the New School. That was it, period. Soy is an English professor at Loyola Marymount University and lives in Los Angeles, California. Melanie. All the Fighting Parts is her debut novel. Are you okay, Melanie?
No, I'm not okay. No, I am. And it's honestly, every time we have a guest on, I'm like, it can't possibly be better than our last guest. And every time I'm just like, what? Like, who are these people? How do we have these friends? Like, it was just so much fun and such a heartfelt ep. I'm really honored to have had her on and honored to call her my friend, like,
Yeah. No, she's the shit.
yeah. We didn't do Sinner's Isle Corner. We've still got 2 minutes. Is there any updates?
The audiobook has finished recording and I'm
What?
sure it's beautiful. Yeah, it was freaking fast. I get to share another really exciting review at the end of this week. So I guess I could say it now. She's gotten a 3-star review. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I know. From where? Can you say from where?
It's like a library association.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's like a very, like, I honestly felt so honored to get it. So that's really exciting. And then Fox and Wit, the book box, Sinner's Isle is going to be like part of their November thing, and the cover that they're doing is so freaking cute. So I think that's all, which is a lot.
It's a lot of exciting things, and I'm gonna need to get that book box is all I'm gonna say, because
it's cute as hell.
it is cute as hell. It's just all the things. Magic, pirates by the Angela Montoya. It's going to cut me out there, and that'll be the perfect segue onto our actual interview. You were not ready for that story. Honestly,
I was not freaking ready at all.
I wasn't sure if I was ready to share that level of raw. I'm like, fuck it. At this point, they know everything.
Poor little baby Mel, man.
I know.
Oh,
Poor little baby Mel in year 11 or something. And in year 11, you expect to have your shit together. Does it pop up that she's here now for you or not at all? Oh, so you never know. Oh my gosh, this whole time. Because sometimes you've been in the middle of saying something and someone pops up and I'm like, oh, they can wait a second. She obviously really wants to say this.
No clue. I'm not being rude. I didn't know. Now we both know.
Oh, do we have audio? Hello.
Is this good?
It's
You look
Can I
great.
be look great?
No, you
You
look
look, you look good.
it's Hannah motherfucking Sawyer in
Oh
the
my,
house.
oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk to y'all. How, all right, wait, let me grab a book.
Okay.
the reunion of the century, friends, is happening
I am
now.
literally so excited.
Say,
We've been excited like forever. Even like before we were chatting, like, oh my gosh, Hannah's gonna be on. I mean, it's been forever, like
I
yeah.
know.
2 years or something. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
know. I love the podcast. I love y'all. I'm so
Well, we love you and we're excited too, honestly. I mean, it's just been really, really fun seeing all the amazing things happening in your life and just kind of
ready.
like, I mean, it's so cool. You are killing it. And it's just like the best to watch
Y'all
you.
too.
Well, thank you.
I genuinely like listen to your podcast. Like
Do
I've
you?
listened to so many. Yes, I've listened to so many episodes. I haven't listened to Paige's yet. But I've listened to Trans, I've listened to Maria's, I've listened to who else? I've just listened. I've been listening.
We're over. I didn't mean to quiz you. I didn't
Yeah.
believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much. Well, like seriously, even after we had you on last time, I was just waiting for when we could have you back again. Because like I'm literally at this point and like, can we just interview our 2020 classmates? Because that's when we have the most fun. I don't know why.
Yeah. Because it doesn't feel like an interview. I'm so excited for this because I feel like it's just gonna be a chance for us to chat.
Yeah.
Yes. No, honestly, that's what we've just been so excited about, and just to kind of like hear more and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so, so cool to see all of your success. And I know even more is to come as your book is just about to be hitting the shelves. I mean, you
Yeah.
it
It's
next
on
week.
a few already.
Oh,
I
is
saw
it?
I
that.
saw I was like, what is this?
How does that feel? Is that the weirdest feeling?
I literally didn't even know. My friend sent me a photo because someone took a photo of them at the bookshelf and she zoomed in and she was like, is that what I think it is? And I was like, I think so.
Oh
Oh,
my God. I'm convinced that this is like something because it happens more than you'd expect. And I thought they'd be really reclusive about when they let it go. But I have a suspicion it's got to be a marketing thing, like a really smart one. Because if people come looking and they're like, oh my gosh, I found it and it's not even meant to be here, that's an instant buy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've heard in the past that if you buy a book before the date it goes on sale, that it doesn't count towards your first week numbers. Like it does towards your advance, but like it doesn't count like for indie or and New York Times or Sunday Times. But I've heard that that's no longer true. I
oh.
don't know what is the truth.
Do any of us? Publishing is the greatest mystery of all. I mean, we
Yeah.
know we have aliens, but do we know anything about publishing? No.
No.
Wait, wait, do we
Yeah.
actually have aliens? Are these not
I
just
don't
memes? What are, because I've seen these memes and I'm like, what is it about?
know. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I would
Stranger
not
things have happened in this world.
seriously. I would not be surprised when I would just be like, makes sense. It feels right at this point in my
Yeah.
life. Shit, we've got
Yeah.
everything else. Why not? But let's get okay, we'll talk about aliens later. But let's get into all the fighting parts. I mean, it's on the shelves, but really getting ready to hit the shelves very soon. Like, how do you feel going into debuting this amazing book?
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks so much. um, it doesn't feel real quite yet. Um, I I'm so incredibly excited, but it also I do kind of feel like, wait, 2 years happened so fast because you get these deals like 2 years out, and then it comes time to actually release it, and you're like, wait, next week?
Yeah.
It's like the
Whoa.
most delayed reaction to like something being told ever, right? It's like you have to wait
Yeah.
for so long. Does it feel like you're ready, or does it just feel just bizarre and like you're
Oh,
separate from it?
she's ready. She is ready. Okay. My friend, listen, my emotions have been all over the place, especially these last couple of weeks. And my friend called me book pregnant the other day. And at first I was like, don't call me that. But then I was like, wait, true. True. Yeah, no, I'm ready. I'm ready. I feel like it's just one of those things where I'm just like, listen, you waited so long, you worked so hard, let's get her done. Let's finally have it officially out there on those shelves. I'm excited for it. I'm super excited for it.
That makes me even more excited just to know that
Yeah.
you're excited, which I mean, it's like one of those scary things, but I think this is just more joyful for you than anything. And getting to see her out there, I think it's just the best. So I'm excited for you. Can you
Thank you.
tell
I'm
our
so excited for you
listeners?
too, Angela.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Really do. And we'll see each other at Y'all Fest, right?
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my
It'll be really,
gosh.
really fun. That's going to be wild. I'm ready
Yeah.
to party, sign
Yeah.
books, and party.
Yeah.
But yeah, can you tell our listeners a little bit about All the Fighting Parts?
All the Fighting Parts is my Me Too novel in verse that amplifies the voice of 16-year-old Amina as she comes forward against her abuser, who is also a popular community figure and her pastor. And it also includes mixed media like court transcripts, text messages, and things like that. Uh, yeah.
Damn.
You say that so many times, and yet it's every time someone asks, you still go blank. Your mind.
I mean, I think you said it pretty damn perfectly, and it's powerful every time you say it. I mean, really and truly.
Thank you.
I
Thank
can't
you.
wait. I've been waiting for this one so long. I see my little Amazon thing being updated and I'm like, yes, come to me. And
Oh, thank you.
yeah, it sounds like such a powerful story, and all the snippets that I've seen just blow me away. And
Oh.
yeah, I think it's gonna be major. It is major. You're major.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I'm just, I'm just happy that it's done. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I think you get caught up in like all of the things that you want your books to do, all the accolades you want to have, and that sort of thing. But honestly, for me, I feel like it's very, very important to take myself back and be like, you wrote the damn book. Like,
Mm.
I genuinely did not think I was going to get through that, because you all know, like, it's loosely based on my own experiences. I didn't think I was going to get through that, and I really didn't think I would write a book about it. And so every time I get in my head and I think about like, oh, like I really wish that I had this opportunity, or like I really wish that the book did X, right? I
Mm.
always take it back to like, you got through that situation, you wrote the book. You didn't think you'd do either of those things,
Mm. And I
you
think
know?
the journey is just starting anyway. Like, I think it's easy to like, man, I see stuff happen for books years down the track as well that they rebirth and whatever. This is just the beginning. Like, who knows where it can go? I have very big
Absolutely.
hopes for this one and for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Listen, I'm just really, really happy that it's almost out in the world, almost on shelves. Although I have heard it's on a few. I'm just yeah, sometimes you got to take it back, because it's so hard, because there are all these expectations, whether they're told to you like vocally or not. There's so many expectations that you see from other people, and you're like, wait, but my book didn't do that, and it makes you like paranoid. It makes you get in your own head, but it's like you wrote the damn book.
Amen. I
So
mean, honestly, that's beautiful and something just to remember. Like, I wrote this damn book, and it's here, and it's real,
yeah,
and people are really like gravitating to it and seeing themselves in it too. And so it's
that's
a
really special to
powerful
me.
thing. Oh, I bet I can only imagine how special that's been for you. Would you say all that pressure has been the most challenging part on your debut year, or what has been so challenging for you?
I actually wouldn't say that's the most challenging part of debut year. I think with debut year, it's really, really hard to not burn out.
Mm.
Even if you are the most organized person, there are going to be a million and one things come up that you just did not anticipate. And anyone who knows me knows I love a good to-do list, right? Like I can make my to-do list for the next few days, for the week or whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is so manageable. Like I'll spread this out this way. And then 3 other things come up that week that are time sensitive. So I think the biggest challenge for debut year for me was learning how to not spread myself too thin and really pacing. Like learning pacing is so important to me because you don't want to overwork yourself and then hate everything about publishing and hate everything about writing.
That's real though. I feel like, oh man, you just reminded me of one of my favorite quotes. Like it's something like, if you feel exhausted, learn to rest, not quit. And it's just like, it's so that, but it's so hard because there's so much pulling you from a million different ways. What's something you do for like your self-care to like stop burnout?
Sleep.
Dude, that is like the best advice though. Like sometimes it doesn't have to be elaborate. Just throw yourself on the bed, hide under the covers and sleep. I feel like that's important.
Yeah, because I think, and I know it sounds so simple, but I think especially debut year, those last couple months, I think a lot of people sacrifice sleep. You know, I was talking to my friend about, I forgot the meme that says something, or like the saying that says something that you can choose between your social life, your work life, and sleep. You can only have 2 out of the 3. I feel like that sums up debut year. But all 3 are so important. So I feel like it's really important to make it work. And at the bottom line, you cannot sacrifice sleep. Can't do that.
Yeah, because it feels okay for a little bit. You're like, yeah, I can do this. Pull a couple overnighters. This night you only got 3 hours, 2 hours. You're like, okay, no, I can do it. But then that's the thing about burnout. It creeps up on you and suddenly you just hit a wall and you're like, I can't move. I can't walk to the end of my street. I can't look at the sun.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like it's just really important to listen to your body. Like if your body says it needs to rest, rest. And also for me it was really challenging. I found myself, and mind you, I love to have fun. Like I love to go out with my friends and be social. Like I love a good time. Like I always say, like if you point me in the direction of a celebration, I'm gonna be there. Right. But it's really important not to sacrifice that either. Things that are not publishing or writing or work related. Just having a good time.
Yes. Thank you for this. Yes, I'll work on that. Appreciate that. Hitting a little too hard right now. My spirit was like, oh, yep, she's on point. No, it's invaluable. Like all of that, finding that balance, and otherwise you will burn out. What has been the best part of debut year so far?
Honestly, for me, I think it just, bottom line, like it always just touches my heart when people say that they were touched by the work. That I think is what really grounds me. Because there's so much that you can't control, but when a reader is like, hey, this touched me in a way that I didn't even know it could, like that feels really good and really satisfying.
I love that so much. Is there anything that you wish you did differently going through this process so far?
No regrets. Have you guys seen that tattoo?
Yeah.
Like regrets.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh no, but I will seriously answer the question. Anything that I think I wish I did differently. I wish that I put less expectations on myself, especially in the very, very beginning.
Oh.
Yeah. I wish that I let up on myself and that I wasn't so hard on myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear that. I wonder where it comes from because, yeah, like I'm the same. Like I've really punished myself sometimes. But then again, I saw a quote the other day and it was just like, you only make it if you're obsessed with what you're doing. So I'm like, I'm trying to find the balance between the two, between, yes, like I think it's like healthy to be obsessed with something that's your passion. But yeah, like also not feeling like it's it's everything and it's nothing, right? Sometimes that's what I realize about this stuff. Like it means the world, it's like all the best things, but also it's like a drop in the bucket of your life and that. But yeah, it is hard to like not put the pressure on yourself.
Yeah. And I mean, people say all the time, like they talk about goalposts and how it's like you achieve one thing and then the goalpost just moves. And I hate that so much. It's so true, though. It's like you do the thing that yourself from 2 years ago couldn't have even imagined that you've done, and you don't even sit with it. The next thing you're like, okay, what's next? You know?
Mm,
Yeah,
that's so
yeah.
true.
She got
Yeah.
me again. Anna got me again.
I've done a lot of reflecting debut here. Okay.
Yes. No, but it's so true. Like just celebrating those wins, big and small, and just like, yeah, like trying to draw ourselves back and be like, wow, you did that thing and celebrate that. It's hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
we're
think
gonna do
about
it.
it. Yeah, no, like really think about it. Do y'all think that yourself from 2, 3 years ago would think that you would be where you are now?
My
No.
gosh.
No.
No way. Like literally, I was walking down the street the other day and I was just like, oh yeah, I was looking, we've got to record, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I just paused on the street and I just looked at my husband. I was like, I never in a million years could have guessed that I would have a podcast where I interview all these baddie authors that I love.
Yay!
And I could never I didn't even know what podcasts were. I'm
And listen, like I said this earlier, but like I listen to your podcast and I've seen the guests that you've had on, and they're all heavy hitters.
they're
Yeah.
so bad. They
Yeah,
are
they're
such
baddies.
baddies.
They're baddies. And
Yeah.
it's every single time we get off, we're like, oh my God. Like
Yeah.
every single person we have on, we're always like, I am obsessed with them. And maybe that sounded creepy, but I mean,
No,
we really
I get what you're
I am
saying. I get it.
obsessed. Yes. But it's one of those like being in this world is really beautiful. I mean, it's so hard and there's so much and we do put our so much pressure on ourselves, but like what you said, just like stopping and just like appreciating how far we've come and the community that we've all built. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And but so easy to forget because you're just like in this headspace of like the world's crashing. I have to make sure everything's perfect or,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, what are you most proud of with
Writing the book. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, bitch. Yes.
No, I'm kidding. I think what I'm most proud of, I wrote an essay for Essence, and that was like huge to me. Um, yeah, I think Essence was, I remember I actually, so I'm a huge journaler and I'm a huge dreamer, and I will write my dreams and like goals down. I will write them. I don't know if you all have seen um Octavia Butler. I blanked on her name, which is honestly, I have her name literally on my fridge, so that's actually a shame. But she has this journal where she wrote down like the things that she wanted her book to do, like I will do this, I will do this, I will do that. And one of the things that I wrote down was a feature in Essence.
Wow.
So it was, yeah, that felt really, really good. And that essay, it was about, so when I came forward, I came forward when I was I want to say 18. I was 18. I was 18, which was 2 years after the fact. But I really came forward because I was very, very angry. And so I wrote an essay about how my anger is kind of what saved me. And I think that we demonize anger a lot. And so to be able to write an essay about that and kind of like reclaim that anger and also just reclaim my narrative, it's just been such a long time coming. And I feel like, it took 8 years for that entire situation to end. And when I say situation, I mean with the court system. And I felt like I spent so long being afraid to really say the things that I wanted to say because I thought they would be used against me in court. And that essay, I feel like I said everything that I wanted to say and everything that oh, wow. and everything that like I didn't get the chance to say. And so I was just, yeah. And then to find a home for it, like Essence was really, really special to me.
I have chills. Honestly, like it's just so beautiful and powerful. And what you said of just like allowing yourself to be angry and follow through with that. And like, and it's healing too. I mean, you know, and look where you are, and and the tears, it's beautiful. And I'm just, that's so exciting and beautiful. And is there a way for us to read it? Like, is it online or is it?
Yeah, if you go, it's called How My Anger After Experiencing Sexual Violence by Someone at My Church Stayed Me. It's a long title. um, but it's on Essence's website. It's on my page. You could probably find it on Instagram if you stroll. Scroll, not stroll. I'm already
No,
Rolling
you
around.
made me cry too. And I
Yeah.
love what you said. Like, I had chills that whole time as well. And I love what you said of like, yeah, people do demonize anger. But the other day, actually, in a therapy session, my therapist was like, you know, anger can also be, I think she said it can also be love. When you look back at your younger self and you feel rage for something, it's because now you have thoughts and skills that you didn't have then. And that rage is actually love and protection for wanting to like protect your younger self. And it's like a health, like anger can be very healthy and very powerful when it's not like, you know, used for evil or whatever.
No, I totally agree. I genuinely, and I love what your therapist said so much.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe it is a part of my life's mission to look out for my younger self and people who were like my younger self. And so yeah, I think I know you asked the question about like what has been the best part of this process, and I said the Essence essay, but really I think it's even larger than that. It's really being able to like fiercely protect my younger self.
I like literally have chills all over my body. This is like a very powerful conversation, and it's so true. And it's like the younger you and like the people who are going to come into that in touch with that story. Like it's so powerful to have shared that. And yeah, I just love you.
I love you. I love y'all.
I love that. I love this. This is great. And here's another thing I really love, and I just saw recently, maybe yesterday, I want to say, but you're narrating or acting for your own audiobook for your book. I mean, that's so beyond and so cool. And knowing that listeners who are taking in your words are actually hearing you and you know how you feel through those words, I think is the most powerful thing. Like I think of Poet X, I want to say is the title.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
okay, thank you, because it's been a little bit since I listened to it, but you know, she read it and I was just like, oh, you can feel everything. And
Absolutely.
and so when I saw that you are doing the audiobook, I was just like chills all over, so excited. Like, how did that come to be?
So we retained audio rights when we sold all the fighting parts, and so we were able to sell it separately. And part of it actually went to auction. That was actually my first auction because all the fighting parts did not go to auction, but the audiobook did. And to this day, I so my agent asked me to send a clip of me. I don't even know if I can say this, but I feel like I can.
Yeah.
She asked me to send a clip, or the agent at New Leaf. I didn't work with, I worked with two agents at New Leaf for this. She asked me to send a clip of me recording 5 minutes. And I think that was my audition. But I didn't know that I was auditioning. And so I was just like, okay. And I read like the first like 5 minutes of the audiobook and I sent it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it must have been good because they were like, yes, Hannah
Oh,
Sawyer is it.
yeah. Yeah. It was super, super exciting.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh. What was like, how has it been? Are you all done? Have you finished recording?
Yeah, so I actually finished recording quite a while ago.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was just able, for a couple of reasons, I was just able to share it just now,
Mm.
which I honestly think was a good move. I think I was so eager to share the announcement of all the fighting parts. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna lie, and I'll tell y'all this because I love y'all so much. I had an ex that broke up with me, and it was like, I want to say September of 2020. And so I remember I was like, is there any way that we can announce this book this month, because it'll be exactly 1 year. And so I
Put
put on
that
my
in
petty hat.
now.
But I think there are a lot of pros to announcing something as close to publication as you can. I put on my petty hat. I was like, I don't care that we're 2 years out. Can we do it right
I love a petty hat. I love a good petty hat.
now?
Oh my God. Especially when an ex is concerned. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
he'll be okay.
It's,
I really hope he's not listening. I don't know if he would ever listen. I really hope he doesn't.
you know what? Let him listen. Your star is shining so bright, you know? They should be like, damn.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy doing it? Reading it all?
I did, but it was quite emotional. Like I
Mm.
had to take I mean, they are really, really good about allowing you to take frequent breaks, but there
Mm.
were some breaks that I needed to take specifically because I was like, oh, that was a lot. Like, can we, can I
Mm.
take 10 minutes?
yeah. Oh my God. I can imagine how heavy that would be.
Mm.
Like, I would be embarrassed just to read my fantasy book, but like, your book, and I could see where it would be
Mm.
heavy and you
Yeah.
those breaks. Yeah, for
Mm.
sure.
But I bet it
Yeah.
also makes it's what's gonna make it a standout audiobook because nobody can read work like the author of the work. And you're an exceptional reader. Like I heard that little snippet that you posted. And yeah, like only an author really knows exactly how that sentence sounded in their head. And that's gonna be part of the magic of having you read it, I think.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm super excited for people to read it. I mean, I listened to a 15-minute sample and I was like, "Oh my gosh," because you hear all the little parts of your voice,
Yeah.
right? And I cringe at my voice. So I actually had to send it to friends and I'd be like, "Be real with me. Does this suck?"
I felt that way though when we did the podcast at the start. I was like, oh God, my voice
It's
is
so hard.
horrific.
It's so hard to hear your own voice because you pick up on all the little things that only you notice. I remember I stopped the audiobook a couple of times to the point where I might have actually been a little annoying. Like I stopped a few times and I was like, "Did that sound okay?" Because you have the director in your ear. It's like, "You want me to do that again?" And she was like, "If I need you to do it again, I will let you know." But there were just a few times where I was like, I just know that sounded bad. But it's because you hear all the little parts of your voice that, sound fine to other people and
Mm,
aren't a problem for other people. But, we get in our own heads. So,
yeah.
Yes. Get out of your head. Your voice is perfect in every
oh,
way.
thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Audiobook went to auction. It's gonna be a hit. I mean, my God, that's so cool. Like I didn't know audiobooks could go to auction. So that even like chef's kiss, even
Yeah.
more.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
yeah, of course. Well, so you've been obviously super busy. I mean, you're out here recording, you're in the studio. I mean, is there anything that you do specifically like to treat yourself?
um, I do believe in retail therapy. So I do like to take myself shopping, even if I only am getting like one or two things. I love to take myself shopping. I love to get my hair done, and
Mm.
I love to get like mani pedis. I haven't gotten my nails done in quite some time, but I like all the basic girl like treat yourself things. I'm into.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason they exist. They do give you that like little boost. Like, my gosh, every time I get my hair cut, I'm just like, where's the red carpet? You know, you have a moment where they've dried it just so. They're actually
Yeah.
going to drop an
Yeah.
album right now.
Yeah. You're like,
Album.
You're like, let me take 1,000,001 selfies.
Yeah, you have to. Like, you can't get your
Yeah.
hair done and not just go full on like supermodel mode. You have to.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely.
hard to get it that good looking on your own. So
Mhm.
yes. Are you working on anything new?
I am working on something new that I can't talk about yet, but
Oh,
good things.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
Yes.
that's
yeah,
enough to keep us
yeah,
excited anyway.
yeah. I'm excited. It took me a little bit longer, I think, to propose my next thing,
Mm.
but I'm really happy with what it will be. And I've said too much.
Yeah,
She's a woman of mystery, and we love it.
I
Keep an eye
love
out,
it.
folks. Yes.
Yeah.
You're so cute. I can feel you like bursting at the seams to tell us everything, but you're like, no, it can't be said.
No, my problem is I be talking. I talk too
Well, it's a good thing we only have 3 minutes left on
much.
the recording,
No.
so
This happened.
you won't spill the beans on your
No.
next beautiful project, which is
This
good.
quite literally, I remember this happening the first time we spoke. It time just flew, and we were like, okay, 2 minutes.
I don't know I don't know how it happens, but it's so fun. It's always how you know it's like been a
Yeah.
really fun episode. But let's
Yeah.
get on our final question that we always love to ask,
Mm.
which is looking back at all you've accomplished, what advice would you give a younger version of yourself before you started this journey?
Honestly, and this is going to sound so cliche, but enjoy the ride. I don't remember who or where I saw this, but I saw someone say that they put all of like the great, all like the beautiful, great, tender, whatever moments in a folder to look back on. And I've started doing that with like screenshots in a folder in my phone, but I almost want to print things out. Like if you like, and it can be as simple as getting like a really, really sweet critique from a friend, like savor that and just return to it because it's so hard to like I said earlier, like the goalpost just keeps moving. And
Mm.
it's so hard to remember, like, hey, that really, really made me happy and that really, really made me smile. So just enjoy the ride and just hold on to those good moments, print them out, frame them. Um, Terry Benton, author of Blood Debts, love him with my whole soul. But and I think it's okay that I'm saying this because they posted it on he posted it on his Instagram, but um, he framed like his Kirkus star, like his starred review, and I'm like, that is genius to me. Like
Yeah.
you should take so much pride in those things. Hey Terry. Yeah,
I
Oh,
agree 100%. And I think that we
absolutely.
should all have walls to remind us because we are, I think, as writers, I will speak for us all collectively right now. We're notoriously forgetful of anything good we do. And you're so right. Even those little critiques and stuff, well, they're not little, are they? If somebody felt moved by your writing to leave comments
Yeah,
like that, it's major. And it feels major in here when you get it. And you're so
yeah,
right. Having a record of that and reflecting on it, that it can shift your mood like that. Because if you're scrolling on Instagram or whatever, you can shift your mood to the negative like that as well. But like having
yeah,
stuff like that, it just reminds you why we're here.
yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
beautiful. That's again hitting the heart, like my heartstrings are thrumming. But sorry for that again. But honestly, Hannah, thank you so much for joining us. And we are just so excited for you and all that's to come. Like the sky is the limit and beyond for you. So congratulations.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you all for just always creating space for writers and just like, I really think that y'all are such a light in the community and doing such wonderful things.
Thank you, Hannah. Hannah motherfucking Sawyerr.